All right, everybody. I don't know. I just love that song. If I'm wearing it out, let me know. It just never gets old to me. Shine bright like a diamond. So, hey, listen, this is Wayne Eulery. Welcome to another Thirsty Thursday conference call. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Let me just tell you, we've been doing this call for quite some time now, and every Thursday you can catch us here at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to receive a text message letting you know who the speakers are and also the callback number, all you got to do is take out your cell phone, send a text message to 50500. So that's right, you're going to send a text message to the number 50500 and put the word Thursday in there. Okay, pretty simple. Just text the word Thursday to 50500, and that will put you on our list. Okay, so pretty simple. You can also find us on Facebook. Just do a search for Thirsty Thursday conference call, and you'll find us. You just have to send a request to join the group, and we'll let you right on in there. If you use Twitter, you can communicate and follow updates on Twitter. If you cannot get the text message service, if you're out of the country but you have Twitter, just follow the hashtag TTMV, like Thirsty Thursday MonaVie, TTMV, #TTMV, and you can get all the updates that go through our texting service in case you aren't able to get the text messages straight on your cell phone. So I see a lot of you are engaging with that right now. So great. Listen, tonight we have a special guest with us, Dr. Larry Linkous. He wrote the book Don't Grow Weary. And it says here, Don't Grow Weary, and Steve Master Keys. That will 7 master keys that will release you into God's design. Excellent book, guys. And listen, I know there's a lot of people out there in this world that are growing weary, and what a great book and a great author, great timing to have Dr. Larry Linkous on the call with us tonight. So I'm excited to hear from him. Get your notepads out. You're going to want to take some notes. And, of course, like I said, get some last-minute text messages or messages on Facebook, and let people know that we got the call going on and we have some really special guest speakers tonight. Okay, so that's my announcements for now. Excited to see everybody in Orlando, of course. And let's see, do I have Dr. Larry Linkous on the line with me right now?
And good evening, Wayne. Glad to be here, my man.
Oh, great. Glad to have you on the call. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And if you guys didn't get a chance to hear Larry in the past, Dr. Larry in the past, you're in for a treat tonight. And so I'm looking forward to meeting you someday, Dr. Larry, and I really enjoyed your book. So go ahead and take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Wayne. I'm just really glad to be here tonight. I'm honored to be invited back. You know, I always say to people, it's one thing to get invited somewhere. It's the miracle of it all is to get invited back. So
you did such a great job the first time around. We wanted you back.
Well, that's the deal, and I thank you, man, and thank you for inviting me, and I appreciate it so much. Glad to be here.
You're welcome. If I could just make one quick request, just try to speak just a tad bit louder, even though I can hear you very well. Sometimes with the recording, if we're not just a little bit louder, it won't come through. So if you could just speak up just a little bit, it'll be perfect, my friend.
I sure will. Is that a little better?
Yeah, very good.
Okay, I'm just going to hold the phone closer to me. Is that better, Wayne? Okay. I believe I'm with you now. And thank you so very much. I want to say thank you also to Steve and Gina Merritt. I just am so blessed to be invited tonight back into this wonderful network, this great dynamic of friends and partners of MonaVie. And, it is special to Sandra and I to just find and create and make new friends and to make good friends and to make friends for life. And I have found that Steve and Gina Merritt are the kind of people that you can have as friends for your life. You know, friends take an investment. Friendships take an investment. Partnerships take an investment. And when you find good people that believe in you and that want the best for you, that will get their shoulder up under you and will raise you up to succeed, to be massively successful in your health and in your wealth, you lock on to those people. And you embrace those people, and you celebrate those people, because I can guarantee you that Steve and Gina Merritt are celebrating you. And it's just a great dynamic that happens in life. And let me just tell you, I know that you know things that I'm about to tell you tonight, but that doesn't happen everywhere. It doesn't happen every day in life. You know, I often say that we're people that don't tolerate you. We celebrate you. And it's so nice to be among people that celebrate you. And I'm blessed, really blessed to be here tonight. Sandra and I just love the product. We love the family. And we're blessed to be a part with Steve and Gina Merritt speaking to you tonight. I think it's always important that when someone entrusts something, see, this isn't mine. This Thursday night, Thirsty Thursday is not mine. It's the idea of someone else, probably Steve and Gina Merritt, her team. And when they entrust you with something that's theirs, it's so important to be faithful to it. You know, Jesus says, I think it's very interesting, in one verse, Jesus just massively outlines some dynamic principles for our lives that will take all of our lives to live them out. In one verse, he says, be faithful in another man's. Be faithful in mammon. Be faithful in money, and just be faithful in all that you're about. He asks you and challenges us to be faithful. He says, be faithful in another man's. Now, I think that's so interesting that Jesus would say that, because there's so many places that we find ourselves involved in another man's vision, in another man's mission, in another man's network, in another man's radio program, in another man's hour of speaking on the Thirsty Thursday night. And my goal here tonight is to serve the purposes of Steve and Gina Merritt and to be faithful in what they're about. And you know, that's important that we do that. You know, all of my ministry life, and I've been in the ministry a long time. Sandra and I have pastored a great church here on the Space Coast of Florida for 30 years. It's a multi-thousand member church. Let me just tell you this about me. I'm not just so you'll know me a little bit. I'm not trying to brag on me. Promise you, I'm not. I'm not here to serve me. But just so you will know that it's a beautiful building. We built 10 years ago, 60,000 square feet, and 30 years with a multi-thousand member congregation. 30 years ago, this year, we began this church with 6 people. 6 people. A multicultural, interdenominational congregation that of hundreds and hundreds of people that we began 30 years ago with 6 people. And you have to learn a faithfulness to build your network. You have to learn to be faithful in another man's, and then you have to find people who are going to be faithful to you and that will learn what you teach. They have to be teachable, or you have to, and sometimes you even have to teach them to be teachable, because we come from a world system where people just are so macho arrogant, and sometimes they're macho ignorant. You know that they know everything. Oh yeah, well, they know everything. And if they don't do the program, you know, if they're not faithful to the concepts and to the dynamics of MonaVie and what the people that have gone on before us know to do, you know, and they don't do it, then they'll fail. And so we have to teach people to be faithful in another man's. We have to teach people as we are, and we have to exemplify it. The way we teach people the best is to exemplify being faithful in another man's what. And one time I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, be faithful. He didn't finish the statement. Just be faithful in another man's. I said, Lord, be faithful in another man's what? It's like, honestly, like the Lord spoke to me in my spirit. He never spoken to me audibly. He said, just fill in the blank, Larry. Look, man, just fill in the blank. Be faithful in another man's business. Be faithful in another, if you're driving another man's car. Be faithful, in another man's finances. Just be faithful in another man's. Ever since I was in the ministry all the years ago that we've been in the ministry, I've just really had it's an assignment in me and a desire to do radio. And I've been blessed over all of these years of ministry to have coming alongside of my pastoral ministry, radio ministry. Matter of fact, tomorrow morning, as I did this morning, I'll get up at 5 o'clock, and I'll get on the radio at 6:30. The studio, we have a beautiful studio in our campus at New Life where I pastor. And I will flip on this radio microphone and play some music, speak some encouragement, and talk about some current events. And for 2.5 hours tomorrow morning again, from 6:30 until 9, every weekday morning. The morning drive into the 22nd year of the morning drive, called The Morning Drive. Now, you can listen to me online. We stream around the world on many radio stations, FM stations across Florida and other states. But many places don't have a radio station that carries the morning drive. But you can find me at findnewlife.com. Findnewlife.com. Just go through the proper buttons there and punch me in and let me know. You can call me at our 800 number. I'll give you an opportunity. I'll tell you the number tomorrow if you're listening. And you can call me and say, hey, man, I was listening to you last night on the phone on the Thursday program, and I'm listening to you on the morning drive. I would love for you to do that. But I, 22 years ago, was invited to sit down at a microphone that was under the authority of another man. Was not my radio station, is not my radio station, but I was faithful to sit down at this man's radio station at his microphone. And 22 years later, all the stations, all the networks, all the streaming, all that I do related to radio is because I know why. Because I was faithful in another man's. I never crossed him. I found out what pleased him. As long as, of course, what pleased him didn't violate anything in my own disciplines or morality or character, and it certainly hasn't. And so I'm blessed to be under that authority and to be faithful in another man's. And I've watched through the years, watch this now. Through the years, I've had great radio desires and dreams. And you have dreams. And they're dreams of health and wealth and blessing and prosperity and life and righteousness and marvelous relationships and joy and friends, all of those great things that's put into you by God, by the way, placed into you by God. That's the call of God. That's the meaning of God in your life in many ways. He says, I know the plan I have for you. And it's not a plan of calamity, but it's a plan of prosperity. That's the plan he has for you. And it's not an accident that you feel that. It's not an accident that you want to be part of MonaVie and that you want to be part of a great network of men and women and joyful people, and you want to build a great company of your own in MonaVie, and that you want to rise into the levels of massive success and health and wealth in this great opportunity. It's not something you made up. It's a desire that's been placed into you by your Creator God. And you'll know those desires, and if you will be faithful, you will live out those desires in your life. I know that it's the truth because it's happened in my life and in mine and Sandra's life, my wife's, whom I love so much, our lives. And we want it to happen in people's lives around us, a part of our lives. part of our reaching, and a part of our embracing people into the dreams that God has birthed in our lives. But I watched as I served this man's radio, now into the 22nd year, as each extra station, each FM station developed across the nation and the network of the Morning Drive. Matter of fact, it's interesting that we're on the radio tonight because just today I was called, and I had knocked on this door, and a radio station in Pensacola, a massive, wonderful FM station in Pensacola. I was called and told, hey, yeah, man, we're opening the door to the Morning Drive this morning, and we welcome you to the whole Pensacola community up into Alabama. And, well, I was just thrilled. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not because I'm cool. Really, it's a principle that I live by. And I want you to live by principles. And I know you do. You build your life on solid principles. And I find this, that when I'm living on principles, I'm not managing crisis. People are either principled people or they're out there living in a crisis. You're either trying to manage a crisis or you're living by principles that usually, if you stay true to your principles, you don't have a lot of crisis. You do every now and then. But mostly, and if you have one, you just revert to your principle. What is my principle here? What is the godly principle here? And this is where I am. You know, the crisis has to line up because I'm a principled person. And so I was honored today to be invited to another whole entire community in Pensacola, beautiful area, Pensacola, Florida, up into Alabama. But years ago, when I was young and had no money, I wanted to buy a radio station myself. Well, as I've been faithful in another man's, a few years ago, well, actually quite a few years ago, 1993, I think, a radio station in Orlando, a little AM station that I had been the sales manager of way back in the 70s. I'd been the sales manager of the station, and I was faithful in that. And I just went on in my life and went back on into the ministry and pastoring over here and on the coast. And that little AM station became available in 1993. And I had no money, but just because a dream was in me and a commitment to radio, I some way I got the ability to buy it. And my son and I, Jason, became my partner. And I invited him in because it was so busy. The church exploded, and I had a radio station in Orlando, and he came and managed it for me. He became an equal partner. And we sold it in 98 and made a lot of money. Lord, we'd never made that kind of money. We'd never seen that kind of money in all our lives. And so we had money, and now we wanted an FM station. You know, we'd made money on AM. And I said to Randy Henry, owns all these stations that carry the Morning Drive. I told him, you know, I kept trying to buy one of his radio stations, and it irritated him, I think, so I quit trying. But he said, Larry, there's a station up in Ocala that's not on the air. This guy, I know him. He's going to run out of money. He can't build it. A couple years, you got to wait. I have a hard time with waiting. Maybe you do too. But it's going to come available. When it does, he's going to offer it to me, and I'm going to offer it to you. And sure enough, time went by. Radio station came available. Jason and I, my son and I, our wives, of course, we bought it, built it, built a big tower out there where we rent space to T-Mobile and to the county for their emergency services, and different people need to rent off of a radio tower. You don't have to fix a window or a commode. It just is up there, and they send a check every month. I'm not saying that because of me. I'm saying that because I've been faithful in another man's. And I'm encouraging you here. In the first of your what? You have dreams in you. You know, you have dreamed wonderful and lofty and massive dreams. And don't you allow the dream stompers. You know, did you ever know that there's plenty of dream stompers in this world? They'll stomp on your dream. They'll minimize you. There's a word that I just kind of began to use a bit more the first of this year. Minimize. You know, the opponents of your life, the people that you know will laugh at you where you think you're going to build a big network with MonaVie, and you think you're going to get a boat, and you know those people will minimize you. But look, they may criticize you, but no one can minimize you but yourself. Nobody can make you small and insignificant but you. You know, and I talked about the big building, the beautiful facility that we've built at New Life, and I love it. You know, I love it. We got a cafe, Paradise Cafe. We got the Good Books bookstore, got the radio studio in our mall. You know, a big sanctuary, upstairs office is beautiful. But the most important investment in life are the investments in people. Now, you know that. You know, the investments in people. But you know that people can be very difficult. Did you ever know this? People can be difficult. But don't you give up. Don't give up on people. And certainly, listen, don't give up on yourself. You'll never, the reason that I am here, my wife and I are pastoring this church 30 years later, is not because we have never been disappointed in people. It's not because someone hasn't tried to minimize us or criticize us, you know, for driving too nice of a car, you know, or, I just believe in being, I'm sorry, sometimes it doesn't go very well with preaching, but I just believe in being successful, live in a nice home if you can, drive the nicest car you can drive, you know, buy my wife the nicest clothes I can buy her, you know, because of a lot of reasons, but just because of some good things that's happened in our life. Radio is certainly one of them. But it's because of being faithful to God's call in our lives and pastoring this great house, this great church. And out of that, many wonderful things happen. I'm talking to you tonight because I've been faithful to the call of God on my life. And that's what I want you to be. Don't you let somebody minimize you, because no one can minimize you if you do not minimize yourself. No one can make you quit if you don't give up on yourself. The book I have written, Don't Grow Weary, comes from a verse in Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, where Paul says, don't grow weary in doing well, for in due season you will reap if you do not faint, if you don't quit. Don't grow weary. That's amazing. Don't grow weary in doing well. I want you to get the book. You can go online at findnewlife.com and get the book. I want you to have this book, Don't Grow Weary. You can go on walmart.com. You can go on amazon.com. It's just every place in the world's got the book. It's amazing how many people are carrying this book. It blows my mind that all of those people are. But you can go right to findnewlife.com and order the book. You need this book in your life. It's 100% inspiration, 100% motivation. And Lord knows we need a lot of that. And that's why you're so busy about MonaVie. But don't you grow weary. That's what I wrote the book, Don't Grow Weary, to keep you from being part of the walking weary. Tomorrow morning, most of America will walk out the door as part of the walking weary. But the scripture says, Paul says, don't grow weary in doing well, for in due season you will reap. In other words, you planted good seed. You're planting good seed, and you'll reap that great harvest if you don't give up. Now, in my Bible, the New American Standard Bible, where it says don't grow weary, it says don't lose heart. Don't lose heart. Don't lose heart in doing well. Well, that's really the best meaning of that verse. Don't lose heart, because you've been promised. You've been designed. Let me just say, rather than promised, you've been designed. Inside of you is a massive design. A design that was designed by your Creator Himself. A design that you would succeed and that you would be healthy and you would be wealthy. You know, I believe that in every person in the world has a God design inside of them, a marvelous plan for their lives. And that's the good news. But the bad news is that most people never live that plan, do they? They don't. Because why? Because in your life, in every person's life, and every person in your network, and every person you know that you're drawing close to your MonaVie embrace, that plan is opposed by the negative forces of this world. And most people don't have the encouragement you have that's surrounding you. They don't have it surrounding them. They don't have the opportunity to be invited into a great company with a great product that can change their life like you do. That's why you have to find them and invite them in and give them a chance, give them a hope, give them a business, give them a reason. You'd had a dream awakened in you. And now I really believe that it's your responsibility to awaken a dream of success and significance in others. You know what I have defined as success and significance? Success, I define as what comes to me. What comes to me is my success. What comes to me is my success. What I earn, the car I drive, the whatever I can buy my wife, and whatever level of life I can live in a good way. But what comes from me is my significance. That's what makes me significant. Now what comes to me? What comes to me makes me successful. What flows from me makes me significant. And I want you to make others significant. You have the tool. You have the great opportunity in your hand to make others not only successful, but significant. And you have it in this beautiful opportunity with MonaVie. And I want you to never grow weary. Don't you ever quit. Because the only person you're quitting on, first of all, if you quit, is you're quitting on yourself. Don't you let someone minimize you. Don't you let someone rip at your heart and to take pieces of your heart. The rock and roll song says, take another little piece of my heart now, baby. Well, sometimes you feel that way. Somebody's taking another piece of my heart. Don't you let somebody have your heart except the Lord Christ. Don't you let the brutal pummeling of this world take something from you and cause you to quit. Don't grow weary in doing well. Don't lose heart. Get your heart back. Come on. Get your heart back. Because you have too much to give. You have too much to live. You have too far to go. You have so much success and significance to embrace. You have it to give to others, to embrace and to pull in. Talk to people to be so different than they are. If you don't quit, you have a massive harvest. And you be there when the harvest comes. You be there. Let me just give you this last thought. I'm going to read it from a book on page 86. Recently I was surfing through television channels when I came upon a most interesting competition. You've probably seen those tractor pull competitions that involve very powerful tractors that pull heavy loads racing toward a finish line. These tractors have massively powerful engines, more than 1,000 horsepower. I don't know, maybe 2,000, I don't know. The idea of the competition, you've seen it, is to attach this beautifully designed tractor a weight that slides closer to it along the rail as this tractor rushes toward the finish line. The closer the weight moves along the rail, you get the picture, toward the tractor, the heavier the load becomes until the tractor can no longer move, sitting and spinning its wheels and ultimately blowing its massive engine. This competition reminds me of us. We were created by a glorious and perfect God in His likeness, designed as massive machines to move freely and powerfully toward the finish line. However, we get wounded. Somebody minimizes us. We try to invite somebody into the company, and they whisper about us, or they insult us. They tell us we're just trying to be carnal or fleshly, and it takes a blow on our heart, and it just loads up our massive machine as we're trying to get to the finish line of success and significance. If we're not careful, we'll overload, and we'll have power failure. We'll just set spinning our wheels or even blowing our engine. And life will pass us by, man. Because life isn't going to stop. So don't you do that. Don't you lose heart. You were made for the race, man. You weren't made for the wait. You weren't made for the wait. You were made for the race. So don't you grow weary. Don't you lose heart. Too many people dependent on you. Too many people looking for you to pull through so they can follow you. Man, I love you. I'm praying for you in this new year. And God bless you, Wayne. And thank you so very much again to Steve and Gina Merritt and to this great opportunity of MonaVie. We're blessed. Look forward to meeting you all really soon. Join me, findnewlife.com. I'm on the radio tomorrow. And you can buy my book there. And I'll talk to you again and certainly look forward to meeting you someday. Thank you, Wayne.
Dr. Larry, thank you so much for being on the call tonight. And I had a question on my mind for you, and I think you pretty much answered it. But, right before the call, I had a friend who just, I think, was at a growing weary point in their life. And I said, you need to jump on this call. They're not involved in MonaVie, but I said, I just had a feeling, you got to jump on this call. And what my question was going to be for that person that has all of life coming down on them, and they are maybe at a weary point. What would your advice for their first steps be to climb out of that? And I think just your positive and uplifting words I think answered that. But if there's anything you would add, I'd love to hear it. Or if you, like I said, I think you kind of answered it. But for someone who's in a weary place, I think sometimes it just feels so burdened and overwhelmed that sometimes it's easier said than done. You know what I mean? And I just wonder if you have a first baby step or something for them to just kind of, if they needed it, just to walk out of that and walk into what you just said.
Well, I think it is a baby step, but it is an important one. Is that so many times we accumulate these wounds and these insults and these attacks on our heart, and we lose heart. We lose heart. And we've been minimized, we've been humiliated, we've been disappointed, we've been discouraged. Maybe it's a disease we thought, maybe it's in a relationship we're trying to win over, maybe it's a financial thing. Life isn't always easy, Wayne. And everyone isn't surrounded by the encouragement that we are. And we have to stop and say, when did this start? What I would do is get before the Lord and say, Lord, when did this happen to me? When did this start? I wasn't like this. I used to laugh. I used to enjoy life. I used to be passionate about life. What is drained? What weight is on me that's suffocating me and wearing me down, making me weary? And I would try to find before the Lord. Let Him help me find that place. I may need to forgive someone. I may need to forgive myself. But I have to shake this off of me. And I have to ask the Lord to give me my strength back, give me my heart back. Because I don't want to live like this. And I'm not going to live like this. And rise up above that. That's a good beginning right there. I hope I answered something, Wayne.
Oh, you have no idea. Yeah, I mean, wow. I'm so glad I actually asked that question because, I just felt a touch from heaven just in you sharing that. And I really believe that a lot of people were touched by this call. As a matter of fact, I'm seeing posts all over Facebook, and I've been directing people to your fan page, since we're on Facebook to make an easy connection, and so they can get in touch with you. And I can tell everybody that Dr. Larry is a very approachable person. I know he's someone who would love to talk with you, or if anybody needs any dialogue or anything, you're there to chat with them, correct?
Nothing I would love more. Let me just tell you, Wayne, it's about people. The whole MonaVie system's about people. The whole thing that Sandra and I are about is about people and helping people, man, giving people a hand up and putting our shoulder under them and lifting them up above ourselves. And you can never climb higher than lifting someone up above yourself. You know that. That's who you are. It's what you do. That's what Steve and Gina do. They just lift people up. And people are not easy, But you know what? Don't ever give up on yourself. And you'll find yourself at the finish line. I say I say the last page of my book is that I'll see you at the finish line. Don't grow weary. I'll be looking for you at the finish line. May not be a sprint. You know, it's sometimes endurance run, but we're going to make it, and we're going to be at the finish line. And there's just massive victory for every person listening to me. I'm not talking about after we die, and thank God for that. But right here, man, this is where we need to win, because people need us winning here.
Yes. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Larry. And I'm going to bring Gina Merritt on here. I want to say one last thing before I bring Gina on. I am getting, seriously, so much feedback on this call. I think it's probably the most feedback I've had on maybe any call that we've done on Twitter, different Facebook pages and groups. So just to let you know, Dr. Larry, a lot of people appreciate you. They said that they needed this call, and really thank you so much for coming back, and we look forward to having you again. So, hey, Gina Merritt, take it away.
Woo! Hey, everybody, I'll tell you what, good evening. We are flat fired up, and I'm going to start up the conference call here tonight. Dr. Larry Linkous is absolutely amazing. One of my favorite, greatest books, Don't Grow Weary. If you don't have it, I'm telling you what, amazing book. But I'm going to start off by talking about making your summer count. You know what? We're going to get you coming out of the gates strong for the summer. We're going to help you tonight literally set 2 goals to get you through the summer. And, you know, I know most everybody has kids. And, you know, make it a reason this summer to build your business. So, you know what, maybe next summer you guys can go off to somewhere where they dream to go up on a vacation and not have to worry about the stress paying for things. So, hey, you're on the call for a reason. We're excited that you're on the call, and we're going to start off first by setting a goal. July 15th, we're going to mark in your calendar that we are going to achieve and win the free mini iPad, and Steve's going to be talking about that, helping you set the goal. And then August 15th will be your next qualifying goal, and that will be for the black tie event. That is so incredible in Salt Lake, going to be held at Dallin and Carey's home. I wouldn't say home. I guess I would call it a mansion. So I'm telling you, it is going to be a blast. But you know what? You got to set goals. And I'm just going to go over a few things real quick, why you would want to set a goal. First of all, you want to set a goal and you want to write it down. Because most everything that you do in life, if you don't write it down or have a plan of action, it's going to be really hard to achieve it. You want to make sure that your goal is specific, make sure that it is immeasurable, make sure that it is realistic, and yet challenging. So Steve's going to help you with that. And the last thing is you want to date it. So we're going to help you, and you know what? Hey, there's been times Steve and I have set goals, but you know what? Did we actually hit that date? No, but we reset it. We didn't get frustrated with ourselves. We got excited because we saw that goal again. We knew that next time we were going to achieve that goal. So, hey, you know, everybody has their kids off for the summer. You know, the June book of the month was by Tony Dungy, and it's called The Mentor Leader. The July that was the May book of the month. The June book of the month is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And I'm telling you, you know what we did with our kids when they were growing up? We didn't actually pay them for chores to do around the house, because that's kind of like when you grow up, it's a responsibility that you have to do and you don't get paid for. So we thought, why pay them when they're young? We paid our kids to read. So whatever age they were at, we would give them a book, and I would encourage you, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yeah, that's a big book. Maybe just start with chapter 1. But you know what? I'm telling you, through this summer, work on your kids by having them read some amazing positive books. And you know, the lifelong learning books, I'm telling you, when you're done with them, they are amazing books to pass them on to your kids. Our kids had to read the book, they had to turn it in as a book report, and they got paid their age. So you know what? Maybe that's something that you could do with your kids through the summer. There's a goal for you, setting goals with your kids. So want to remind you that this weekend, just like Wayne said, Toledo, Ohio is July 15th, this weekend. I'm telling you, airline tickets are so cheap. I would encourage you, if you got a brand new couple, get on the plane and bring them there. I know Steve's going to just came home from the corporation in Salt Lake City. He's going to be talking about and announcing some new things. I can't tell them on this call, but they will be announced in Toledo, Ohio, so that's going to be pretty exciting. But hey, you know what? We're going to set goals with you on this call because it's important. Maybe you're not sure how to set a goal. Maybe you don't even know where to start with your goal. So Steve is going to go over your goals with you. And let me tell you, I want you to make sure that right now you're grabbing your calendar, whatever, if you use the GPS calendar, or if you don't even have a calendar, just get out a piece of paper right now. And if you don't have the GPS calendar, you want to make sure that you order that online at the MonaVie Mall. But if you don't have a calendar, grab a calendar, grab a piece of paper. So he's going to tell you exactly what goals to hit and where, so you can achieve these goals realistically. The mini iPad and going to the Larson's house for the black tie event. Because I'm telling you, you know what, ladies, you get to wear a gown and dress up. You're like a princess. You're treated like a queen. And I'm telling you, it's just a special event. And with me working at my career for 24 years, you know, a huge airline, I'm telling you, we never had things like this. So Steve and I just love it because you know what? Here we're going to be all the way at this event, but we're going to get treated special with a special dinner, arriving in a special way. And you know what? It's just going to be a grand celebration of achievement for each one of us. And you know, if you are not signed up for the event it's called Elevate, which is in Salt Lake City. If you are not signed up for that, you need to go right onto the MonaVie site, click events, and you can register yourself. You know what? Everyone is going to meet there from all over the U.S., and I know that. Matter of fact, at our function that we just had in St. Augustine, we had folks fly in from Connecticut. So you know what? This is going to be exciting. We're having these business building seminars all over in different states. So, of course, this weekend is Toledo, Ohio, July 15th. I believe it's 1 to 5. The Golds meeting starts at 12 o'clock. But I would just want to encourage you know what? After that event, we're all going to meet in Salt Lake City in August. Make sure you're registered. Make sure you're signed up for it. So, hey, get your pens, get your papers out. You know what? We're going to make your summer count. It's going to be worthwhile for you. And you know what? Steve and Gina Merritt are cheering each one of you on. Here's Steve. God bless you guys.
Hey, guys. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Dr. Larry Linkous. What a blessed call we're having tonight. And you know what? We just want to congratulate every one of you for calling in from wherever you're at. We know some of you are calling in from Canada. Some of you are calling in from Europe. Some of you are going to be calling in from all over the country. I just want to give you all a congratulations for stepping up. That's part of getting around the community, getting around the environment of winners that are making it happen. And every single week I want to appreciate Wayne for all you do, Wayne, because we've been having some phenomenal calls. Every single week, this Thursday call gets better and better, and the people that are just, you know, taking their time like Dr. Linkous did tonight to pour into the hearts of all of us to become better people and to, you know, focus on what we need to be focusing on so we don't have to be growing weary and go take our business and our families who are counting on us to the next level. So I just want to let everyone know I just got back. I'm on the MVP Council, and I was up there with Charlie and Debbie Kalb in Salt Lake City this week, as well as Corbin and Holly Roush were there, Jan Pripich was there, Frank and Cindy Soshnik, Randy Schrader, and a few other folks that are on the board. Let's see, Lance and Tracy Smith. So Byron Moles is on the committee. So we've got a whole plethora of folks that are on these the MVP board, and we're meeting there with the MonaVie corporate team, including Mauricio Bellaro, who set the vision for us and is going to be traveling around to different locations throughout the country during the summer. He's going off to Portugal today to speak to the Portugal team. Point is that I came back more fired up. Me and Corbin and Frank and Cindy and Charlie and Deb, we were just fired up. I'd have to say we are as excited or more excited than the first day that we ever saw the potential, because now we know that we've got folks behind it. We got a company that has not missed paying every single Friday. Billions of dollars they've paid the distributor team so far, $1.5 billion, and they're expecting to do that in half the time in the next 4 years now. It took them about 8 years to do that. Now in 4 years, they're going to pay out to the next $1 billion, and we want you that are on this call to be part of it as well as your friends. I mean, they're not just going to hand it to you. They just didn't hand it to us. We have to go out and put in the effort and make it happen. So hopefully you're coming home from doing a one-on-one tonight, or maybe 3 of them. That's how I do it. Or a home tasting party, a home meeting. Maybe you're coming home from an open meeting. Maybe you're heading to the BBS like I am tomorrow night, so I'm up there ready to rock and roll on Saturday in the Midwest. We had people, by the way, flying in from all over the country to last week's business building seminar in St. Augustine, Florida. And I'm telling you, it was a home run. We had Henry Marsh, co-founder of MonaVie. We had Mark McDonald. We had Charlie and Debbie, Frank and Cindy. Matt Curtis spoke just after. He actually drove up. I should say he was expecting a grandchild. I think it's his 3rd grandbaby. And he drove up just to do the meeting and to bless the folks, stayed for the entire event, closed out the event, and drove back home, and then they had the little baby boy. So the exciting thing is people have to understand that, you know what, you're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to roll up your shirt sleeves and put in the effort. God wants you to succeed. You've been praying for an opportunity, but you know what, you're going to have to put in the activities and the effort to make it happen. And we are excited because of the announcements, and I'm going to be able to leak out some of the new things that are going to be announced in Salt Lake City coming up in the next 60 days. But you know what? I'm going to be able to give you a few things. And the great thing is there's better. We got a brand new marketing strategy, a PR firm that's coming out. That's kind of one of the top things because you're going to want that to help you, your image. And when you're out talking to people, it's going to put you in a better position to win as MonaVie is helping change people's perception, which is one of Gina's and my goals today is to help change people's perception of this industry because it is the best industry you could possibly be in. I mean, give me someone else that's been on 27 free paid-for trips in the last 7 years that we've been involved in the opportunity. Let me know another company, another career that you could do and have that kind of fun with your family and friends. I mean, and that's just the beginning of it. So we're going to be talking about those kind of initiatives, new things that are going to put the View Scanner. It's going to put you in a whole different position with your View Scanner. So make sure you've got one because I'm telling you, wait till you see what's about to be launched in Salt Lake City. They're going to be talking about more money. You would not believe how much money they are putting into the in far as promotion, should I say, for the newest distributors that are coming into to the business as they build their business. I'm telling you, I'm so fired up. Hopefully, I think they're going to even have me some more information that I can really announce by Saturday. But I just want to let you know that now is the time, like Gina said, make your summer count so that as you come into Salt Lake and they announce all these things that you can capitalize from, you and your team, you've got a team there listening to what, I mean, when was the last time your boss said, you know what, I want to figure out how we can help you make thousands more a month in your paycheck? If he hasn't doing that, that's all the talk was almost the entire week. We've been talking about how to put more money. So these guys not only can be blessed at gold at one way to make money in the team commission, the ECM, but another way, multiple ways, multiple pools of money that they're putting into the in far as promotions for every one of you to succeed and make generate income faster and to help bless you and your family so that you can, reach what you need to reach. Let's get your mortgage paid off. Let's get your mortgage paid. Let's get your kids' college education in the bank. I mean, I got 2 weddings this summer. My 2 daughters are getting married. Gina and I are, and they're planning it. We're having a blast doing it. But you know what? You're going to have a lot more of a blast when you got the money in the bank. And because of the MonaVie opportunity, we've been able to do that and didn't have to worry and be stressed out and go to the bank for a loan or anything like that. So anyways, that's going to be announced coming up in Ohio this weekend. So the tickets are only $25. Yeah, they're $30 at the door. I don't know how much you'd want to pay to learn how to get yourself free for the rest of your life. But Gina and I, we haven't had jobs. Now, we're not saying we're retired. We just haven't had jobs for 7 years. You want to learn from some people that have done that. I can't wait to be giving you the how, what, and why, and the new information that's coming out, the new exciting things that they just keep pulling out of their hat to help us. If you can tell that I'm excited, I hope you can hear it through the phone lines that you're going to have a hard time sleeping tonight after this call. So, again, if you're ready and you're ready to rock and roll, make your summer count, like Gina said. Set the goal. Let's set the goal to get that mini iPad, okay? And let's be ready now and be willing to put in the activities and the effort to get it done. I mean, you can't just dream about it and wish you had it. You got to say, okay, I'm going to go get this iPad. I got to go sponsor 5 people and help each one of them help 3 of them get 2 people. And I suggest, like Gina said, you've got till August 15th, but I'd like to see you get this by the 15th of July. Set the date that, you know what, I'm going to go get 5 personals before the July 15th deadline, and I'm going to help 3 of them get their 2 people, so that I'm set up now for the next 30 days to sponsor 5 more personals and then come to this amazing black tie event that's going to be put on the Thursday evening before the Salt Lake City event that starts on Friday. I believe that's the 29th of August, but kind of look at your calendar on that. But that's what I would do to set your goal. Now, again, you could set your goal however you'd like to, but I'm telling you, if you get out there and you take your scanner, if you got a scanner, and you start just saying, hey, Wayne, this is Steve, I'm coming over. I mean, that's as easy it is. And go take them and show, hey, what are you coming over for? Hey, I've got some new wellness technology. Help you and Stephanie look better and feel better. I got to come show you what I got. You drive over there, you give them a scan, you talk to them about how important their antioxidants are and how it has to do with their health as far as looking better, feeling better. Like Mark McDonald taught us this past Saturday, how would you like to be looking younger and have your aches and pains go away? If you've got a low antioxidant level, that's why you're having all these aches and pains and you look a little tired. Raise up your antioxidant level, you're going to start looking better, feeling better, your aches and pains are going to go away, and we're going to guarantee that with a money-back guarantee. What do you think about that? And you know what? They're going to say yes. And then you're going to take and help them and understand, hey, look, we can help you drink your product for free and we can start helping you making money. Is there something you can't get doing what you're doing? You might say, like I did, I wanted to bring my wife home from work. And that would be my reasoning for starting the journey toward financial freedom. Using MonaVie, again, we're just using it as a vehicle to get you where you want to go. It's not like we're asking you, do you want to do this? We know you're not dreaming to be promoting a wellness line of products. Mark says we have the best, the CNN fitness guru, and he's about to be on Dr. Oz for the 2nd time. And by the way, you don't get called in again to speak in Dr. Oz. He said that it took him, I think, 43 hours that it took them for them to do so 2 or 3 days of talking for the thing in order to get the segment finished for the Dr. Oz segment. So, anyways, this guy is a great friend of ours, and he's going to be just sharing with us and telling us that we have the best, and it just keeps getting better, our product line. So. Anyways, I hope that you set this goal. So you got now, if you want to get to the black tie, you set that goal for August 15th. Now you can get the mini iPad all the way up to August 15th, but let's get the energy. Let's get a sense of urgency. You can go out there by talking to somebody every day and going and sitting with them sometime. Again, it's summer. Whether you go there in the afternoon, go there in the morning, go there at lunch, or go there in the evening. I suggest in the evenings, but figure out what you can do and scan with them, drink the juice with them, drink the Reveal, talk about their health and their dreams. And say, you know what, if no one else is coming here to help you get your mortgage paid off, that's what I want to help you do. And help them get sponsored in the business. Take 2 or 3 of those people and help them go sponsor their people. So if I'm going to talk to somebody for Wayne, I'm just going to say, Bob, Wayne, would you mind if I help you make the first call? Because I've kind of learned from this Thirsty Thursday call how to make the phone calls to the folks, and then you can listen to me. So it'd just be, Bob, this is Steve. You don't know me, but I'm sitting here by your friend Wayne. He speaks really highly of you. We got something you got to see. We got to do in the wellness industry. We got patented new technology, kind of like Apple type stuff. We want to go come share with you. Where are you at? Your office, your house? Boom. You and Wayne go drive over there. Show them the antioxidant scanner. Give them a scan. If you don't have the scanner, you just show the view video and talk about it. talk to them about their goals and dreams, go through the one-on-one brochure, because the flip chart is basically right on there, or you can use the flip chart, whether it's on your iPad or hard copy, but you just go right through the one-on-one brochure, because you can write their scan and write the color that they got right on there, and then you talk about their dreams, write them down, and say, look, we want to help you get there, and get them in either on the product, just for the product, or they could be getting a junior or senior kit, so that if they're ready to build a business and go make it happen. So we just want to help you set this goal and encourage you that, you know what, as MonaVie keeps announcing new programs and new things to help you succeed faster and to put more money in your pocket and to help your friends understand that this is a much greater and bigger opportunity through their marketing and PR campaigns that they're putting together. Some of them are going to be with Mark McDonald. Some of them are going to be about the company, the industry, and our product line. I'm telling you, they are going to be making you and myself look better and better every single week as they come out with this. So I want to encourage you that if you come to the BBS, you want to have as many as you possibly can hear this same message. Now, I didn't bring a ton of people to my first big event. I brought 2 couples, but they both went Blue Diamond. The other folks that didn't come, until they came to one, they didn't get it. It took them that much longer. They put it this way, they weren't on the first diamond trip that my friend Matt Curtis was, that I brought to the first event. So we want you to be on the next trip. It starts by earning the black tie. That's one of the first things you want to earn. Now you're working towards your way to the gold trip. Then you're working your way to the ruby trip. Then you're working your way to the diamond trip. So, by the way, they didn't even have a diamond trip. They had no trips when I signed up in the opportunity. So that's what I'm kind of meaning, that they just keep coming up with stuff to help you to have a more meaningful life. Don't you want to go on neat, fun trips with family and friends? So that's going to be Saturday in Toledo, Ohio. Go to MonaVie.com/events. That's where you find out about this information and figure out a way to get there and bring somebody with you. By the way, real quick, Matt said to me he did not want to go. So every person I've ever sponsored or wanted to come to an event, none of them wanted to get in, or they did not want to come to an event. And I just agree with him. Hey, you know what, Matt, I don't want to go either. I got 4 kids. I could call the busy card any time. But you know what? If we want to get free, they're telling us we got to learn. By the way, the number 2 most important thing you could do in MonaVie is to come to this Toledo, Ohio event or any BBS. The number 1 most important thing you can do to succeed is you've got to come to Salt Lake City. So that if you want to be a doctor, they kind of have this criteria of what you got to do. You can't start working on patients before you go to medical school and go through internship. It's the same thing here. If you want to win, you can't just, they're not going to give you the scalpel if you didn't go to medical school. If you want to go gold, ruby, emerald, diamond, you're going to want to come to an event like the BBS that's going on Saturday. Now, do we have them? We've only got so many of them. There's only so many that you could attend. In Canada, I know I've got Frank Soshnick. Again, he's on the MVP Council. Him and his wife, Cindy, are blessing people all through Canada this week. I don't care what you have. I would cancel everything to get in front of this couple who've got 5 kids. They started with 5 companies, and in less than 1 year, they went Black Diamond in MonaVie. I'm telling you, someone on this call is going to be the next person. They're going to get the vision in Canada when they see this couple. They're going to be in Vancouver tonight. So if you're not there right now listening to me or on the way home from that, they're there tonight. I think tomorrow night or the next night coming up, they're going to be in Edmonton. And then Saturday, I know they're going to be in Toronto area. Again, what you do there is you go to MonaVie.com/events. Then you got to go to the Canadian part of the calendar because there's so many things on the American side that you got to go to the Canadian side because they've got a lot of events. So click on that, and you'll see where they're going to be at this week. Send somebody if you're not there. But we're doing everything we can to help you find somewhere that you could start plugging into. And again, if you don't have something in your area, you're just going to have to get an airline ticket. I just spoke to Katie Larson earlier this morning, and she had told me that we've got there's deals all over right now on the airlines. So if you really wanted to get this information and take it back to your town, wherever you're at, you could do that by getting an airline ticket or driving to the Midwest BBS coming up this Saturday in Toledo. So hopefully you've got tickets for that. Hopefully you've got yourself registered for Salt Lake City. If you don't and you can't sleep tonight, go on the website, get yourself and your wife a ticket to Salt Lake City, and then start talking to your friends and get them somehow to come with you even though they're not going to want to go, just like Matt didn't want to go with me. But he set a record in the MonaVie business by going diamond in 70 days. So a couple that did not want to go. His wife said when he came over to my house, whatever you do, don't sign up for anything. Matt signed up for everything, and he did not want to go to the convention. All right, it was actually a big convention that was going on. Get this, a big convention. There was 100 people there. That was the biggest convention in MonaVie at the time. 100 people when we first. Went to our very first one. So the momentum and the patents and the marketing and everything that we've got set up right now in MonaVie is so much bigger. It's, like I said at the beginning of my talk, you couldn't be getting involved at a better time with a better bunch of people that you could count on to take your business to where you'd like to go. Your family deserves it. You deserve it. We believe in you. We want you to go run and get this mini iPad and then go and help. That's going to set precedence for your friends to do the exact same thing because they saw that you went out and got your mini iPad. And if you do it by July 15th, then they got time because you did it in a month. They can do it in a month, and they can do the exact same thing. So, hey, we love you guys. We believe in you. I hope I see a bunch of you on Saturday. Hey, if you were on this call and you decided to get an airline ticket or you decided to get in your car and make it there, come up to me and make sure you shake your hand. You may shake my hand and say, hey, you know what? Appreciate you doing that Thirsty Thursday call. And we decided to come out here and learn the how, what, and why because you know what? It's first mover advantage. There aren't that many meetings going on that you can plug into. So this is how you got to figure out a way to get your information. And why wait till Salt Lake when you can come to an event that's not quite as big and you can more have a little hands-on so we can introduce you to Mark McDonald. You can be introduced to the leaders in the business. I know Van and Stacy McWilliams, Blue Diamonds, teachers in the business, both were able to leave their profession and now they've been free for years. And we've got Carl and Kathy Firestone, diamonds in the business. They've got kids just like you got kids. They're going to be coming there and blessing every one of you as well. So, hey, we love you guys. We're fired up. We can't wait to see you, whether it be this Saturday at the BBS or coming up in the next 60 days in Salt Lake City at the Elevate Convention. We want to elevate every one of you to the next level. But you know what? At least we get to talk to each other on this conference call every week and encourage each other to go make it happen to get for each one of our families. So, hey, love you guys. Go make it happen. Wayne, we really appreciate you. Thanks for all you do and blessing all the folks on this call. Because you put this call together, someone is going to make their decision and come out to the BBS this Saturday, and them and their family and their friends are going to be blessed just like my family and friends were blessed because of the opportunity. So appreciate you, buddy. Keep making it happen, and we'll talk to everybody next week on the call.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Steve and Gina. Woohoo! Fired up, guys. I'm going to be up there in Toledo, too, so looking forward to seeing you. And like we do every Thursday, I'm going to go ahead and open up the line so you can announce where you're from. This is Wayne Eulery, Youngstown, Ohio.
On Kathy first. Linda, Ohio.
Jim and Karen Kane.
Seville, Florida.
Ohio.
My sister Woo!
Brian Phoenix, Chicago.
David and Carmen Abdo, Lantana, Florida.
You say David Abdo?
Hello.
Lantana, Florida? Now, 51 seconds.
Jason Knox, Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Eugene Juanita, Rockledge, Florida.